Welcome back to the Shepherd's campaign for Freespace 2 here on Paladin Gaming. We're going into the first mission, Shattered. July 7th, 2367, Ritza Capella. Attention Nebular Theater Commanders from Vice Admiral Vidalia Carver, DMI. Subject General Operations Update. The Security Council is ordering all forces in theater to withdraw to Capella immediately. Loss of the GVD Psamtik has been confirmed. Both 2nd Sathanas class vessel and new Knossos artifacts sighted. GTD Ionia and 2nd Fleet assets en route from Capella to assist with evacuation efforts. Phase 2 of Operation Nexus has been postponed, but Phase 1 is to proceed effective immediately. I have forwarded additional details to those taking part in Phase 1. Individual orders from High Command are being assigned to all addressed in this message. Time is critical. Godspeed. Vice Admiral Vidalia Carver's 3rd Fleet Liaison, Office of Military Intelligence, Beta Aquilay. All right, let's get the briefing. Gamma Draconis, GTD Ionia, 2nd Fleet, July 16, 2367. Situation. For the attention of the officers and crew of the GTD Ionia, this is Admiral Ranov. As you all have become aware, a catastrophic development has occurred within the Nebular Theater of Operations. At 1712 hours, while conducting a reconnaissance operation in a Shivan-controlled sector of the nebula, the GVD Psamtik was engaged and destroyed by a 2nd Sathanas-class juggernaut. Since then, the Shivans have launched a massive coordinated offensive against numerous allied positions throughout the nebula, utilizing a vast reserve of fresh and previously unaccounted warships. We have yet to determine the origin of these forces. 2 hours ago, at 1835 hours, GTVA High Command issued an emergency order for all Allied forces to withdraw to Capella, where we will mount a defense against the Shivans. Admiral Petrarch and the GTD Aquitaine narrowly escaped to Gamma Draconis, and most of the 3rd Fleet has since pulled out from the nebula. In conjunction with Admiral Nekbo, the 11th Vasudin Battle Group, I have ordered the 2nd Fleet to cover the retreat of all Allied units from the nebula. All warships short of critical damage are moving out to escort surviving elements of the 5th Fleet and 13th Battle Group to the node, while the GVD Memphis's battle group goes on the offensive to draw off as many Shivan forces as possible. The Ionia will be departing Gamma Draconis soon, and we expect to arrive in the nebula in just over an hour. Whoops. Squadron assignments. The Ionia will be doing We're going into general quarters as soon as we arrive in system, with combat operations commencing immediately. Squadron assignments are as follows. The 9th, 180th, and 301st will disperse to escort Allied ships to the node and oversee the disassembling of our cargo depots. The 115th will be tasked with providing additional cover for the GVD Memphis as they attack a series of Shivan staging points. The 333rd and 509th are being deployed offensively to engage enemy targets along known Shivan logistical routes and stagger their push. The 78th will remain on standby to respond to any emergent situations. All other squadrons will launch in paired rotations and maintain security within the immediate space around the Ionia, which will reinforce the GVD Toaris and monitor the evacuation effort at the Gamma Draconis jump node. So this is probably going to be a different take than the one in the Aegis mission of Battle Captains. I will not lie to you. We stand on the precipice of a major Shivan invasion of our home systems. Each minute brings with it new reports of Shivan attacks against our front lines, and the scale of the enemy offensive continues to grow. High Command is hastening to the evacuation of Capella, but with such a large population in need of being relocated to neighboring systems, it will take weeks before the evacuation can be completed. Shivan Vanguard forces have already begun an incursion into Capella, attacking civilian convoys and rallying points in that system, all while harassing our forces as they withdraw through Gamma Draconis. The consequences of our actions in these dark days ahead will be scrutinized by military historians for decades, assuming any are still alive. It will be during these desperate times that all of us will learn to fight harder than we could have possibly imagined. Our finest hour is approaching. It is my firm belief that the 2nd Fleet is home to the finest men and women in uniform of the GTVA. Remember this. Make your families proud. GTVA Secure Net 78 Squadron Voice Comm. So we're 78th. 78th is on standby. That makes sense. Received July 16, 2367, 213803 TST. From Lieutenant Commander Eric Lawson to 78 Silverbacks personnel. Heads up, we're exiting subspace in 20 minutes. Chief, make sure our birds are ready by the time we get there. All pilots are to assemble in the briefing room before we exit the node. Alright, let's continue. Shattered. Alright, Silverbacks, it hasn't even been 15 minutes since our arrival from Gamma Draconis, and we've already got several deployment orders. Let's get started. Our first mission today is to investigate and re-establish contact with Supply Depot 11, a rear line, rear armor and repair site under 3rd Fleet jurisdiction serving as a rallying point for Allied convoys retreating from other parts of the nebula. Latest reports indicate that the depot's defense force had driven off several Shivan fighter wings before contact was lost. They missed their last scheduled check-in 20 minutes ago, and the reason for the depot going dark is unknown. Nebular activity is passive in that area, and the depot's squadron was still of sufficient strength to broadcast a warning that they had indeed fallen under attack again. Several freighters were also present in the area, and more ships were either on approach or in subspace to this location. We need to know why none of these ships were reported back to command. Admiral Renov has issued a temporary order for Allied forces to avoid rallying at this location. In addition to serving as a vital route for our forces, the depot also contains critical supplies needed for our warships, as well as a number of unoccupied craft. Needless to say, recovering these assets would help us out a lot. Alpha Wing, you're on point for this operation. Because we have no intel of what may have happened out there, you'll be inserted several kilometers away from the depot and exercise a cautious approach towards it. If the Shivans are indeed responsible for this, they'll likely still be around. Command will assemble an SAR task force should this be the case. Since this is our squadron's first foray in the nebula, I should remind you that the visibility is going to be poor. You will need to rely on your radars just as you would rely on a wingmate, but don't expect to pick up much outside of 4 clicks. This lesson applies to the rest of you as well. If you engage hostile forces, Command will deploy reinforcements to your area. However, with dozens of engagements occurring at this very moment elsewhere in the nebula, it may be some time before help arrives. Don't stray too far from each other and you'll come home alive. Watch your 6 out there, Alpha. Report to the flight deck immediately. You're launching in 5. Beta Wing, fall in for mission briefing. Alright, primary objectives is investigate status of Supply Depot 11 and secondarily locate Allied units. Alright, we'll do this for the squadron and that for me. Alright, let's hit it. Command, Alpha Wing is exited subspace. I'm picking up some faint IFF pings up ahead, friendly configurations. Understood, Alpha 2. Investigate the status of the depot. The evacuation is ramping up and time is of the essence. Command out. Hey, shouldn't we be able to clearly see them on radar by now? I thought Allied IFS were configured to register their ID codes with nearby units. Nebula activity seems pretty calm too, that can't be hindering us. I wouldn't bet on that 3. The fog outside manages the right composition of gases to screw with our stuff. This nebula's got a whole bag of tricks. Most of which have only caused us trouble. Tell me again why we've got a repair yard out here in the soup. We sure as hell haven't tamed the Wild West out here. GTD military doctrine calls for the application of continuous pressure against the Shivans. That includes forward bases capable of repairing warships. I think we severely underestimated them, though. Hubris charge, and so much of it, too. Not going to argue you there, 3. Let's get back on task. Wilco. Why do you go so far behind me? Well, I guess I've been burning. Surely I've traveled 4 kilometers by now. Alpha 1, it looks like we're entering a debris field. Watch your speed, team. Lots of tearing debris. No way this is a few fighter wings worth. Hello. Why aren't these targetable? But the debris is. Debris GTC something. Caution radiation, huh? GTC Caluga. Sentry gun. Whoa. Oh, I was afraid the mission was broken for a minute there. The whole place is trash. Attention, this is Alpha 2 of the 78th Silverbacks, GTD Ionia. Is anyone reading me? I repeat, does anybody copy? Still can't target anything. I don't like this, Alpha Lead. My instruments are picking up some residual EM interference. Maybe a flash storm caused this? Damn, nothing but static. I'm calling this in. Keep your eyes open, pilots. Command Alpha 2, we've arrived at Supply Depot 11. We're negative on communication with friendly forces. Looks like a freighter struck the platform supporting structures. The depot's an absolute mess. Understood, Alpha 2. Can you get a scan of that freighter? There may be survivors on board. Negative, Command. I can't target. Negative, Command. Alpha 3 has picked up some residual EM around here. We're unable to acquire lock on any ship or cargo unit apart from our own craft. What is the status of the GTD Caluga? The cruiser has been deployed to this location to undergo field repairs. I have eyes on the Caluga, Command. She's still in dock and looks fine to me. It's spelled differently than the nameplate. Alpha, try increasing the range of your transponder's frequencies. It is possible some vessels on approach to the depot may have fled and are out of contact range. Meanwhile, our analysts will try to determine what happened out here. Roger, Command. Alright, Alpha 1, let's increase transponder noise. If anyone's out there, let's just hope they can see our pings. Watch the Shivans do that. And now we wait. Keep your heads on a swivel. Gods, this place is making my skin crawl. Desolate bases, ruined ships. The sooner we get back to Capella, the better. Yeah. I know what you mean, Skips. The Shivans could be watching us right now for all we know, circling around like sharks just beyond our radar range. Not helping, man. Sorry. In any case, we'll have a more level playing field without the nebula causing havoc on us. Once we bait them into Capella, the Colossus will clean the floor with the second juggernaut just like it did with the first one. And then what? We thought we broke their backs after the last one. Now they got another one. The Colossus nearly burned its guts to a crisp taking that thing down. Now this. You and I both know this ain't the place to be building repair yards. Our job isn't to know, Skips. Pilots like us have our hands full as is. We don't need that extra baggage. Neither me nor Alpha 1 would have survived the Epsilon Pegasi front had we worried about Command's choices. Yeah. Damn, that just reminded me. Hasn't the Ionia been on the front lines for 6 months straight now? How the hell have you two managed to live this sort of life without a break? The secret is repetition, 3. You only got here from Delta Serpentis a few weeks ago, but you get used to it. Good sleep cycles alone does wonders, too. All that time you spend reading Galnet at night's not helping you, though. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think there's anybody out there. I think Command has us chasing ghost ships. Ah, ghost ships. Allow me to tell you the story of the Orcus. Oh, boy. Hey, wait a second. Look. Rare's picking up some friendly fuzz out there at long range. Yeah, I see that too. Alpha 1 recommended we investigate that signal. Someone's out there trying to get our attention. I have a hunch it won't be long before the Shivans pick up on it too. Commander, we're picking up a faint IFF that registers as friendly not too far from the depot. We're moving to investigate. Where? We're surrounded by friendly IFFs. We have received you. Proceed with caution, pilots. Where am I going? Is it that one maybe? It looks away from the other stuff. Uh-oh, looks like we got hostile signatures near our friends. Step on it, Alpha. Okay, I am going the right way. Contact confirmed. There's a Hawk class medical vessel designated Panacea. It's under attack by 3 Mars, designation Pisces. Hit those engines, pilots. So got their attention. Break and engage. Ow. Got him. Pisces was nullified. They gave that ship a beating. They were lucky we got here in time. Alpha 1, close in and scan that medical frigate, especially package both passive and active sensor data for command. Good, data is compiled. Command, the signal has been identified as GTM Panacea. She's dead in the water and her comms and radars are heavily damaged. Sending you a passive sensor and scan data now. Excellent work finding that ship, Alpha Wing. Hold your position and defend that vessel. We'll sort a recovery team as quickly as possible. Command, we took down a Shivan fighter wing that was attacking the vessel. I don't know how long we'll be able to hold out if Shivan reinforcements arrive. All Allied reserves are currently engaged at the Gamma Draconis node. Epsilon wing from the 509th will be tasked to your location as soon as they complete their mission. You have your orders, pilots. We are the reserves. Roger that, Command. Strap in, guys, because I don't think the Shivans will let us off so easily. Get topped up. Here they come. Hostile contacts approaching. It's set to engage. Astaroths. Oh, damn it. Bombers. Damn, he was incoming. Knock him down where they can fire on the pan. On it. What was that? What was what? Skips? Bomber threat nullified. That was some fine shooting. Pilots, the GTD something was destroyed in your engagement zone. Beta wing from your squadron is tasked to assist you. ETA 3 minutes. It's nothing, probably debris. GTD Chariot has just entered subspaces and route to your location. Be advised, the Epsilon wing has been destroyed in your in their engagement zone. That Beta wing from your squad. Okay, there we are. Roger that, Command. Sounds like everything's gone to hell. Alright, Alpha 1? I think we're already there, Charge. GTD Chariot on station, proceeding to outside docking port. Alpha, please provide us escort. Dragons! Jump flash, 4 dragons, 2 clicks are behind the chariot. Don't let them get near that ship. This is gonna happen sooner or later. Just remember your training, pilot. Don't stay so too long. Scatter them and take them down one at a time. Just like that. That seemed too easy. Am I on the right difficulty? I'll check after this mission. Chariot took a hit. Docking clamp secured. Handshake procedure complete. Our boarding party reports they're ready to proceed. Have your people be careful down there, Chariot. There's probably going to be a lot of scared people in there. No clue how they'll react to seeing your guys, assuming anyone's alive. We'll tread carefully, Alpha 2. Airlock is opening. Boarding team is away. Stand by. Watch me full achievements. Check. Beta wing is on station. Hope we didn't keep you guys waiting too long. Waiting? Nah, it's fine, Volley. We've only taken down 4, maybe 5 wings so far. The 3 of us can keep this up all day. Yeah, I get it. Command sent us the deploy order while mid-op. If we keep pushing our fighters, we'll toast our engines eventually. We can see that. Hey, where's Sleet? Didn't LC sortie in with your wing? He got jumped by Mars while we escorted a convoy at the node. His merm got pretty banged up, but he managed to eject at the last second. He's been recovered by the Ionia. I swear he has 9 lives. Yeah, not the first time he's escaped death. Command, brief you on the situation here? Yeah, Ghost Depot. I see a transport docked with the Panacea. Have they fixed her up yet? No idea. Alpha 2 to Chariot. What's your sit rep? Sorry for the delay, Alpha 2. Our team's made contact with the Panacea's captain. The ship's engines are currently undergoing field repair by our engineers. Should take us about 5 minutes to get them back online. Most of the crew and passengers are alright, though about 100 people were lost to a hull breach in the lower level medical bays. Oh my god, those must have been the bodies I saw earlier. Oh, that's what you saw. Understood. Do we know what happened out here? Details are sketchy so far. Some sort of explosion rocked the depot as the Panacea made its approach. It was strong enough to knock out several of her subsystems. All the way out here? Well, they have a meson bomb, but then there wouldn't be anything left. Guess we'll find out more during debrief. Thanks for the update, Chariot. We'll keep our people covered until we're back at the node. There's a checkpoint for a reason. Something's going to pop out at us. Break time's over, guys. Got angry red blips on sensors closing in fast. Looks like several wings are coming to clean house. Lock up that cover, pilots. Beta wing watch for bombers trying to slip through. That medical frigate won't hold up long while under fire. Roger, 1. Bombers. Alright, bombers down. Now they deal with this guy Hatfield. Yeah, these fighters aren't breaking hard enough. I don't think I'm on hard. I'll have to check. Yeah, I will. Get back here. More bombers. We have orders to intercept Capricorn again. There they are. long until that engine's back online. We're very holding them back out here. Fusion drives coming online. Our warp drives are charging up. Our ETD is 1 minute. Oh boy. Countermeasures. Warp drivers are recharged. About the same clear as we enter subspace. Thank you for the coverage, 78. Alright, now let's get our own tails clear and get the hell out of here. Command Alpha 3 of the Panacea has cleared the area. Excellent work, Alpha and Beta. Relief forces will arrive to secure the area shortly. We return to the Ionia. Command out. Alright, Alpha, our birds are about had it. See you guys back at base. Beta's jumping out. Roger that. See you guys back home. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Oh boy. Welcome back to the Ionia, pilots. Thanks to your efforts, the GT and Panacea made it to the Gamma Draconis node and is currently en route to Capella. GTVA Command, the GTVA Medical Corps, and Banov Medical representatives are pleased with the cover you provided. Well done. Thanks to the Panacea's crew, we now have an idea of what happened to the depot. One of the Defense Forces pilots, likely under intense stress, claimed he saw Shivan fire near the depot's cargo platforms. This sent the crew aboard the GTFR Fencerton into a panic. The Fencerton had just docked with a munitions container, which included a large stockpile of GTM-14 EMP missiles. The ship crashed into the depot's support beams, causing a detonation of the munitions and blanketing the area with enough EM interference to disable everything within a 2-kilometer radius. The explosion likely attracted Shivan attention, who would pick off the helpless pilots and most of the ships around the depot. The Panacea was far enough away to be unaffected by this and went into hiding until they detected your wing's IFF signatures. Whether Shivans failed to completely destroy the depot remains unclear, but that doesn't matter. Probably because they couldn't target it either. Lambda Wing, escorted by the 9th, arrived to secure the depot after your departure, driving off Shivan remnants after an intense dogfight. Although neutralizing all hostiles would have made their mission easier, it was outside our mission parameters. Right now the depot is back under Allied protection and our convoys are once again passing through it. The GTC Caliga is currently being towed out of the nebula, and Second Fleet's making the most out of these supplies that were recovered. In the meantime, I suggest you get something to eat and return to the flight deck in 20 minutes. This war is far from over. Alright, no recommendations. Destroying all hostiles will have left the Shivans at a disadvantage in the following mission. I thought we did. Okay, so we were on hard. 27 total kills with 2 assists. 8 Nahimas, 6 Astaroths, 3 Dragons, 2 Manticores, 8 Maras. I want to know what we missed. So this was Shattered, the first mission of the Shepherds campaign for Freespace 2 here on Paladin Gaming. This is Paladin Gaming signing off.